Today, in part 1 of this series on Franklin Mountain State Park, we're visiting McKelligon Canyon. The canyon is located right at the boundary between central and northeast El Paso. The entrance to the canyon is near Sugarloaf Mountain, which is the large mountain to the right. The canyon is named for a realtor, M.J. McKelligon. Apparently, he had a herd of cattle in the area many years ago. The canyon was later purchased by the city of El Paso in 1931, and in the 1950s there was a rumor that uranium could be found in the canyon. That rumor was later proven to be false. As you turn onto McKelligon Canyon Road, the area first looks quite industrial, with a rock quarry on the left. But after only one block, you find the entrance to the park. This park is open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, and this sign warns that the gate is locked at 10 p.m. There's some interesting looking lizards decorating the gates, and there's a pumping station for El Paso water utilities right at the entrance. After a short stretch of road and passing through a road cutting, we find ourselves at our first roadside stop. Here we have an overlook that shows an earthen dam connected to Sugarloaf Mountain. I imagine that they designed this to trap water that flows into the canyon during rainstorms. A little farther, and we start to get a good view of a dried up stream, called an arroyo in this area, on the right side of the road. I wouldn't want to be on this road in a rainstorm, because that dried up stream could turn into a major torrent and cause flash flooding. At the same time, if you know geology, arroyos are a great place to find interesting rocks. The building on the side of the mountain is McKelligon Canyon Amphitheater. It's best known for hosting both Cool Canyon Nights and Viva El Paso, a show that celebrates the history and heritage of El Paso that takes place on Fridays during summer. If you haven't seen the show, or even if it's been a while, it's definitely worth it. The road ends in a one-way loop around some picnic tables. And at the top of the loop is the trailhead for the Coleman Trail. It goes from here all the way to Transmountain Road, passing very close to the peak of South Mount Franklin. While I've never done this hike, I've heard it's pretty challenging, especially in summer. So if you decide to go hiking, make sure you're prepared with appropriate shoes, lots of water, cell phones, and all the appropriate gear. And most importantly, make sure you know your limits and when to turn back. Aside from hiking, people also come here to walk along the asphalt road. It's a pretty popular place for both personal exercise, military PT, and just enjoying the scenery of the canyon. There are quite a few plants that grow here in the canyon. Here we have a prickly pear, a creosote bush to its right, and some ocotillos and yuccas on the other side of the road. And where do these green bean-like pods come from? Well, it's a mesquite bush, and I've heard that these are edible, though I've never tried them. McKelligon Canyon is a perfect example of classic southwestern desert beauty. The cliffs were shaped over millions of years, and they're part of an ancient reef system that once formed the floor of a shallow sea during the Permian period. So when you're driving through this canyon, you're literally traveling across a prehistoric seabed. Most of the rocks here are limestone and dolomite, but if you look closely, you might spot quartzite and even some rarer metamorphic rocks. And if you're lucky, you might find fossils embedded in the stone, remnants of the sea creatures that once called this place home. Modern-day wildlife is also part of the experience too. You might catch an eagle soaring overhead, or a roadrunner darting across the rocks. One time, I even saw some quail running across the street here. There are larger animals here too, such as deer, coyotes, and mountain lions, but they're pretty rare and generally stay away from humans. Though during rehearsal, the cast of Viva El Paso sometimes hears sounds that the local animals make. One time there was even a rumor that they heard the cry of the Horizon City Monster, our local Bigfoot-like legend. Personally, I'm still skeptical, and I think it was some sort of animal. When I recorded this video, it was just after the peak of the monsoon season, and the canyon was about as green as it ever gets. As the seasons change, the canyon will become much more brown. But even during these seasons, the canyon has its own unique beauty. So as we exit the canyon, we take one last look at the rugged cliffs around us, the desert plants, and the winding road, and remember that every season leads to a different view. Whether it's green from the rains or sun-bleached in the heat, McKelligon Canyon is always worth a visit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe, so you never miss anything here on Trails and Tastes of the Southwest. See you next time.